everyone, I'm Carla. I make videos on beauty, lifestyle, and fashion here on YouTube. This video will be part of my home decor series where I will show you how I decorate my home. With the help of this book, Think Like a Decorator by Leslie Banker, I was able to decorate my office space, so I highly recommend you pick up this book if you're looking to decorate your space. The process of creating a home office in a small space requires careful planning and budgeting. I will give you a 7-step guide to walk you through each of the steps that I took in designing my home office. If you're a beginner decorator, these tips and tricks will help you create a beautiful and aesthetically pleasing workspace in your home. Before I jump into the video, I want to show the before of the home office. It has these beige wall colors and a shag rug. We actually took out the rug in our whole condo, and throughout this video you're gonna see the after of the home office space just in bits and pieces until the end. Now let's jump right into the video. Step 1 is to decide on your budget. You wouldn't want to start the project without actually having a number in mind. Having a budget will help you decide what furniture pieces to buy and what items you can afford to fill in the space. Step 2 is to think about what function do you want the room to serve. Do you want the room to be a multifunctional room? Do you want to have an office / beauty room? For me personally, I wanted this to be like a study room where I could focus on work, but I also wanted the space to be a place where I can film my videos. So I designed my home office as a multifunctional room. Think about what will make you the happiest in the room. For me, having a big adjustable standing desk and an ergonomic chair along with lots of storage where I can put my crafts and office supplies would make me super happy. Step 3 is to decide on what your anchor will be. And in the book, Think Like a Decorator, an anchor is defined as a paint color or a rug color or a piece of artwork that you want your whole room to be centered on. The anchor will serve as a starting point for the rest of the room to follow. If you don't know what your anchor should be, you can do what I did and go on Pinterest and search up small home office ideas to get inspiration. That's how I decided that I wanted my anchor to be these like muted pink walls. I love how pink looks with green, so I knew that I wanted the anchor of this office to be pink and green. Another place that you can look for inspiration is you can go online on hdtv.com, or you can get some of their magazines. They have tons of helpful tips and inspiration photos, as well as places to shop for furniture, decor, and much more. Step 4 is to create a furniture plan. You can start off by measuring the width of the walls and then sketch out the dimensions of the room. Sketch in how wide the walls are and maybe how tall the ceiling is. That way, if you're gonna put in a shelf, you can kind of know how tall you want the shelf to be without it being too tall for the room. You should decide where you want your desk to face. For me, it was really important to see the window as I work, because I like the daylight and I kind of like to see the nature and the trees outside. I also knew I wanted to film in the daytime in front of the window, so I knew that I wanted the wall behind, right across from the window, to be the decorated wall, so I would have like a nice background for my videos. Think about if you want a seating area for your guests to sit in, or do you want a reading nook or anything like that in your home office. I personally did want a reading nook, but I figured that it might get in the way of where I set up my tripod, so for now I just tabled the idea. You want to keep in mind storage and make sure that you incorporate enough storage to store all the items that you want to keep in the room. I chose an accent cabinet because it would provide me enough space I needed to store all my arts and crafts and my office supplies. Step 5 is to create a schema, and the book Think Like a Decorator talks about what schemas are. So I don't know what I was thinking, but the word that I'm referring to is not schemas, it's schemes. So please disregard, and whenever you hear me say schemas, just know I mean schemes. Schemas are a collection of swatches, fabrics, and paint colors that will make up the design of the room. A schema is important to ensure that the walls and the floor and the furniture finishings and all the fabrics like the drapery in the room will kind of mesh well together. I did a virtual schema by going on Canva and inserting pictures of the paint, of the floor, of the different furniture finishes, and I even copied and pasted in different furniture pieces that I was thinking of buying to see how they would kind of go well with everything that was already in the room. So the schema was super helpful for me to figure out if everything kind of went well together in this room. Step 6 is to start shopping, and I recommend that you keep an eye out for the dimensions of each of the furniture pieces that you're looking to buy. What I would do is I would take the tape measure and walk into the room, hold the tape measure out to see how big or how small that piece of furniture would look in the room, and that's how I decided whether or not I wanted that piece of furniture. So I did that with my accent cabinet because I didn't want to buy one that was too short or too tall or too wide. Even though it fit in the space, I did want to keep in mind like the proportions of the furniture. And the final 7th step is to add the finishing touches. You can add decorative pieces like plants, real plants or fake plants, and books and anything like that. I shop for all of mine on Target, Home Goods, and TJ Maxx. All great for budget-friendly decorative pieces. Another tip I love from the book, the author mentions if the room feels unfinished, you can keep going. You can add more decorative pieces, you can add a throw blanket, you can add a lamp, you can add a mirror. Just keep going until the room kind of feels ready and finished. And make sure you are keeping these decorative pieces, these accessories also in your budget as well, because sometimes we forget to account for these decorative pieces that we want to add in, but they are like the finishing touches of a room. I'm going to insert clips of what the room looks like so far. I think it's not officially done yet because I still need to add more finishing touches, but I did just want to document me decorating and designing my home office. The before of the office space, and as you can see, the walls were already painted pink. We painted the walls before we changed the floors, and it's looking a mess, but that's the before. This is the after. I absolutely am in love with the standing desk since it has an option to put wheels on the bottom of it in which you can kind of roll it around. And this is a really nice feature because we can kind of change the layout of the office in case I do want to work facing the wall, which actually does help me to focus sometimes if the window becomes too distracting. So like this video if you want to see an in-depth tour of my home office, or for a part 2 to see what finishing touches I add. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. With the help of this book, Think Like a Decorator.
Baby girl, you're so sweet, you're my sugar. Don't go let them fool you, you're my diva.